Yo, what's going on? Just gonna do a late night jamboree real fast. Got some things to say, a couple of words to say. Figured it would be a good time to do so. So that's what I'm gonna do. What's going on Facebook and YouTube? I'll be up on just 1 second. Just trying to get set up, and then I got a couple things I want to jam on real quick. So I'm gonna just get the Instagrams going, and then we'll get after it. All right. What's the good word? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. All right. People are already talking about LeBronzel. Yeah, I know you can't see me. I'm coming on 1 second. All right, here we go. Just a quick jammer. Just a quick jamboree. All right, we're on. All right. There we go. All right. Unannounced secret. What's up, Facebook and YouTube? What's going on? Yo, what's going on? A little surprise jamboree, as it were. What's going on? What's up? What's up, AJC? How's it going? Yo, just figured I would come on and jam on some stuff real quick. Just had some thoughts to share. What's going on? What's up? Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's up, Facebook and YouTube people? Thanks for being here. Unannounced late night jamboreesel. Just felt like yelling some things and felt inspired. What's up, Bill? How's it going? Yo, what's up? What's up, Jess? Thank you so much. What's up, Ty? How's it going, R. Johns? What's the good word? Yo, what's going on, people? What's the good word? How's it going? Just a little late night choochery. What's up, Jocelyn? How's it going? What's the good word? I'm watching your Sunday Night Live. I'm dead. Nakwa, Melbourne, what's good? I'm sitting, so I'm remaining calm. I got a haircut today. I love a good haircut. Drinking water, as always. It's always water. What's up, Mid38? How's it going? Yo, thanks for being here. I figured I'd come on and just do like a late, like moderately quiet screaming session. Because I felt like I had a couple things I wanted to say. So here's where I wanted to get after it. All right. What's up, Liverpool? How you doing? Which hair did you get cut? Okay, let's all just take it easy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have I had a McRib? Yes, I just finished a large McRib. No big deal. And figured that I would come on here and just do a little bit of screaming. So look, listen. Here's kind of what I've been thinking about. So I get asked all the time the exact same question. And I just felt like I would just keep this short and simple. I'm not going to go on here for like 2 hours. I'm not going to go on here for 2.5 hours and tell you some long-winded tale. I just figured I would just tell you a succinct, very short and concise message about the message that has to happen today, about what needs to be done. People ask me the same question all the time, which is, what can I do? What can I do? The world is trash. Everything is garbage. Everything's on fire. I don't know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. How do I do something about it? So I'm going to try to answer this question in as short and as succinct as possible. For people that are just jumping in here, the message is I'm going to answer the question of what can I do? And I want to just tell a quick story. So I did, for some reason, it feels weird to sit. So I'm just going to stand up because you know how it is. I get a lot more yelling on when I'm standing. So let me just do a little stand here. Let me get after it. I'm going to headbutt. I'm going to karate chop. The lights are too bright. It's so hot. All right, that's better. Okay, now Listen, so everybody asks me the same question. They're like, what do I do? How do I do this? What do I do? How do I contribute? I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my friends. I don't want to lose X, Y, and Z things. And they always ask the exact same question. And I will tell you exactly what you can do right now. Now, okay. First, let me preface this by, we all know what happened in the trial and the trial results that came out yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever it was. Yesterday, the day before, whatever, I don't even know. We all saw what happened with this situation in Ohio. I think it was Columbus, Ohio. And then NPR and all these news outlets, they start race baiting right from the jump. People are going nuts. They're outrageous. They're outraging. They're yelling. They're doing all types of terrible things. Nobody knows what's going on. And this is what I've come to the conclusion, is that we're dealing with a bunch of people that don't want to pay attention. We're dealing with people that don't want to pay attention, don't want to look into things, aren't interested in the truth. They're just interested in being on the right side of things. They just want to pump and push and endorse whatever they believe to be the general disposition of most people. If it's on the news, it's true. If my friends talk about it, it's true. If I hear about it in conversations, it's true. I don't want to do the research. I don't want to take the time. I don't want to figure out the true nature of the story. All I want to do is just say what everybody else is saying so that I don't have to pay attention. That's all anybody wants to do. They don't want to take the time to understand. They don't want to know the facts of the story. They don't want to know what actually went down. They don't want to know what actually happened. They believe, generally speaking, the vast majority of people, ignorance is bliss. I don't want to pay attention. I'm not political. This is not something that I'm interested in. Why stir the pot? All I want to do is make money and focus on my life and live a good life and go on vacation and have a cold pop and smoke a cig or do whatever I want. I just want to live my life. That's what most people generally feel like. But because everybody has that feeling, and because most people have that feeling, is why we're in this mess, which is why these things are allowed to perpetuate. Because the people that don't pay attention, they pass on the narrative that's being fed to them that they don't even understand. They allow that conversation to continue and continue to perpetuate, and that is the problem, is that people are not contesting when people say things that are blatantly untrue, that they don't take the time to research and don't take the time to understand. So they'll say ignorance is bliss. They'll say I don't want to pay attention. They'll say that I don't care. They'll say I'm not political. They'll say whatever. And then the first thing that'll come out of their mouth is, fuck George Floyd. It's like, or fuck Derek Chauvin. They got justice, finally justice. And it's like, you didn't watch the case. You didn't watch the body cam footage. You didn't pay attention to the truth. You saw it on the news, or you heard someone say it, or you saw it got retweeted by Joey Basement or the Dehydrated Owl in New York, and then they just passed that narrative along. So their ignorance is bliss, and they're living with their blinders up, and they're not political, and they don't care, and they're not paying attention, and I just want to live my life, and blah, 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 blah. But when something actually comes up that's part of the general narrative, they're like, I want to be on the right side. I want to be on the good team. I'll never forget, I went to a music festival 4 years ago, and the guy on stage was just like, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald, and everyone was like, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump. And I was like, these people don't even know why they're saying that. It's just the mob. The mob just goes the way the mob goes. People don't want to be on the team that's the minority. People don't want to be on the side that requires you to question things. People don't want to be on the side of things that requires deep understanding of what's actually happening. People don't want to pay attention. They look to what everybody else is saying and they follow along. If you guys haven't seen that video, I think it's this video on YouTube where they put a person in a room and they have a bunch of people sitting down in the room and they play a sound and everybody stands up. And the person that's new in the room that doesn't know why they're standing up, they stand up. And every time the sound goes, they all stand up, which is the madness of crowds, which is when everybody generally does something, people believe that's what you're supposed to do. And even though they don't pay attention, they allow that narrative to pass through them, and then they disperse it around their social circles. They spread it around to the people that they know because they don't want to be on the other side because they didn't take the time to understand or know. Yet they'll continue to push it through them and pass it and distribute it out without even knowing. So as they say ignorance is bliss, and as they say I don't pay attention, they allow themselves to be a conduit for the incorrect message to pass through. And all of the people that understand how people can be emotionally manipulated through these means, they take that and they just shove it right down your throat because they know that the people that really understand aren't going to be able to convince all the people that aren't paying attention. So how do we stop this? How do we end this? What can I do? What can I do? Little old me, what can I do? Play with my bag and tell me what to do. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what to do. I'm afraid. I don't know. This is what you do. Change one conversation every time one comes up. Change one conversation. And I'll tell you a short story. Yesterday, I told you a story on my live stream. I believe it was last night. I'm pretty sure it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. Okay. Last night, I told you a story about how I went to breakfast with some friends. And this will tickle your bag. This will tickle your bag. I hope it tickles your bag. All right. I told you a story yesterday on my live stream about how I went to breakfast with some friends. And we're all sitting down and we were talking about the taser story. Oh, mistook the taser for the gun. How could you do that? It's so much different than a taser. That cop should go to jail. That cop should be there. And I'm like, I'm making it a joke, but like the conversation was very serious. Like, yeah, that's messed up. And I was like, no, it was clearly an accident. The response was, well, how do you know it was an accident? I'm like, did you watch the video? Did you watch the video? Did you watch how a human being, a police officer with 27-year experience, did you watch how this human being made a split-second decision that you're so callously passing on as if you know, as if you took the time to watch, as if you took the time to pay attention? Did you watch the video? No, I didn't watch the video. Well, then you don't know, dog. You don't know. And you don't have to be fighting. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to get in their face. You just got to be like, yo, man, don't say that if you didn't take the time to watch the video, because I watched the video and it looked like an accident to me. To me, it would be much better if you took the time to watch the video. And the response is, oh, well, I don't care about this stuff. I don't want to pay attention. I don't even watch the news. Ignorance is bliss. I just want to go to the gym and live my life and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But do not pass, and I'm not going to allow you to pass the incorrect message through the ranks of people in a situation where I know the truth. And it may be socially uncomfortable for me to call you out on it in front of other people, but I don't have to do it in a mean way. I don't have to do it in the wrong way. All I have to do is be like, yo, man, did you watch the video? Let me just ask you a leading question that I already know the answer to, because if you did watch the video, okay, then we can have a conversation about it. But if you didn't, I'm not gonna let you get away with saying that in front of two other people that don't know anything about this particular situation and also did not watch the video, because I watched the video. And I watched the video with no dog in the fight. I don't care what happened. I don't care about the gender, the race, the color, a cop or not a cop. It doesn't matter. I just watched it as an impartial observer, and I drew a conclusion based on my rational human opinion. And I know what I saw, and I did research about it because I'm interested in it, because I want to speak eloquently about it in the public square when these types of conversations come up. And most people don't want to pay attention. That's why I pay attention. Most people don't want to do stuff. Most people don't want to do things that are uncommon, that are challenging, that take time. That means that people that believe they have the capacity, that believe that they have the ability to do something good in there, they do it. It's a call for them to take action. This is my particular thing. If all I have to do is watch a video, pay attention, and look into it some more so that I can change the conversation, okay, I'll do that. And if I make some funny videos and get rewarded for it and this becomes my full-time job, great, awesome. That's what the world is saying. That's what the market is voting for me to do. Let's have this guy do it. I want to live my life, but I want this dude to look at this, research it, analyze it, understand it, deliver it to me in an entertaining and comedic way, and let me be more informed so that I can go out to my social circles and pass on what is the truth. Because I know that I can verify that this person took the time to understand this, and I generally, for the most part, agree with his disposition to things most of the time. Therefore, I'm going to start with that base, and then I'm going to watch it for myself and draw my own conclusions should I choose to. That's what I am. That's what I believe I am to you. That's what a lot of other people and other creators are to me. So I was like, hey, if you didn't watch the video, I watched the video. It certainly looked that way to me. I don't know. But like, please don't pass on the narrative unless you take the time. Oh, I don't want to do it. Okay, fine. Here's the conclusion of this story. Later on that day, my friend and the other people that were at that table The two of them went out on the town and hung out with a different group of people. And all those people were very, fuck Derek Chauvin. He deserved to rot in prison. Magoo. And you know what happened? They talked about the same story that we had talked about earlier. And they were like, yeah, and the taser, Magoo. And the guy that I stopped from saying that earlier in the day, and I was not there. She tells me later, she goes, these guys were talking about it. And he said, no. This guy we were chilling with earlier said that it was an accident. He watched the video. So did you guys watch the video? No, you didn't watch the video? I don't know. Well, this guy said, and he seemed to make a pretty good point. The guy seems well-researched. So we probably shouldn't talk about that. And just like that, that's one person at the table, two people at the table, three people at the table that I was at. Now this conversation continues with two of those three people later, and there was probably a group of four additional people. That's 7 people. All I did was interrupt one conversation because I took the time to watch the video, and that's 7 people. And now when those 7 people get in 6 conversations each, that's 35 conversations now that are going to be able to be stunted by, did you watch the video? This other guy told me that he didn't watch the video either. Maybe we shouldn't say that that's the case. That's a real life example that happened in real time. So when she came and told me this story, I was like, that's awesome. That's amazing. Look, there it is, working in real time, exactly like I said. That's exactly what I said. So this is the answer. This is the solution. This is how you can do something, no matter who you are, where you are, what you think, who you know, what you're afraid of. The answer is interrupt and take a social situation that would otherwise lead down one of these narratives, stop it in its tracks, and ask a question that would cause them to pause before allowing the incorrect narrative to pass through to more people socially. That is how we stop this shit. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, all these black people are getting shot by the police. Did you know that less than 20 unarmed black men were killed by the police in the last 12 months? Oh, you didn't know that? Here's the study. Conversation halted. Dozens and dozens of conversations, and ultimately hundreds of people will be affected by you simply interjecting and pausing and or questioning with your basis and understanding of the truth and facts, and causing them to be like, hey man, just please don't talk about that unless you don't understand, because I looked at it. So did you look at it? Okay, cool. Then let's talk about it. But if you didn't, then let's stop it right there. You don't have to tell them what to think. You don't have to tell them how to do about it or how to think about it. But what you should say is, did you look at it? Should we and can we talk about it? That's the solution, because 90% of people don't care, don't want to pay attention. They're just making conversation. And as this emotional manipulation goes into one ear and knocks around in their head, they're in a social situation, and it just comes up naturally. It's up on the TV while you're at the bar. It's on the TV while you're sitting at the airport. It's at the bus station. It's on their phone. They get a text. Somebody tells them. They heard it on the radio. They heard it in a podcast. Someone brought it up in a random conversation, and they're just like, yeah, isn't that crazy? Fuck Derek Chauvin. Yeah, cool. And meanwhile, it just gets passed along. And the incorrect narrative, it's like a game of telephone. It gets passed all around to hundreds of people, and that's why we're in this mess. Most people don't even take the time to understand things that are as basic and simple as what they should do about their own life. So what's to think that they're going to take the time to understand what's going on with other people's lives? They don't care about Derek Chauvin. They don't care about what could potentially be an innocent human being that's going to sit in a prison cell for perhaps a decade or more. They don't care, but they're going to pass along the narrative without even paying attention, just completely disregarding the fact that this is a human being. Yet they're going to idolize people like GF and say, oh, he sacrificed, like Nancy, he sacrificed for justice. No, he didn't. Did anybody think about the past of what this person had been involved with? Does anybody care about the woman that had a gun held to her and that he robbed at gunpoint, that he served a 4-year prison sentence for? Does anybody care about that as they make this guy the supposed symbol of justice that we'll remember in perpetuity forever, that we supposedly are supposed to idolize? Nobody cares about what actually happened. These people are sick and they don't take the time to understand. So the very small group of people that are passing this narrative around around, they're sick in the head. And the rest of the people don't take the time to understand because they're lazy, they're indifferent, they generally don't care, and they just want to live their life. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that other than the fact that their lack of concern, but then chiming in at the very moment to just be part of the gang ruins it for everybody else that takes the time to pay attention. It's kind of like having a person go to the polls and vote that doesn't understand how to register to vote a couple weeks in advance, that doesn't understand how to get an ID. You mean a person is not informed enough to get a driver's license or a photo identification card, yet they're qualified enough to pick the leader of the free world? That a person that owns property, runs businesses, has been an otherwise legitimate member of society, did research, took the time to understand, thought about who they were going to vote for, worked at it, paid attention to it, watched all the debates, read all of the articles, looked at all the positions, and then made an informed decision. That person, their vote counts the same as the person that somehow can't figure out how to get an identification. That's insanity. These people are sick, and all they care about is power. And they are controlling all of the messaging. And it's just a little tidbit of people like this. And then you have the vast majority of people that sit right in here that just pass it right through. And they don't even understand the severity of their words. They don't even understand the severity of their indifference. They don't even understand that they are allowing this narrative to propagate, and it is the wrong one. And the simple fact that they can be emotionally manipulated and everybody else is consuming media from the same limited amount of sources is why all this stuff passes through in perpetuity now until forever. That's why we're in this mess. That's why, because people that understand aren't taking the time to create a socially awkward situation to stop it in its tracks. Because if we just did that, you could change the minds of 7 people, 14 people, 21 people, 5,000 people. You don't even understand. We grossly underestimate the power of our own words. We grossly underestimate the amount of persuasion that we have over other people's minds, especially people that waffle in the middle. We minimize our power thinking that we only have such and such and such, but you don't even understand how significant your words are to even just the 5 to 6 people that are closest to you. If you just interrupt that conversation, whether they're a liberal or not, you don't have to completely change their ideology. You just have to stop the conversation and be like, did you do this? Here's the actual fact of it. Here it is. Conclude for yourself. Don't tell them what to think. Tell them how to think. Don't tell them what to think. Tell them how to think. And just let them dig their own grave with the information that they do not understand. And they'll quickly go, well, ignorance, I don't pay attention. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with you doing that. Just please don't pass it along, because I took the time to research it, and you're making it worse for all of us, the people that are paying attention, and more bad things are happening as a result of your indifference, yet your willingness to pass this information along right down the line, just so that you can be part of the tribe. Everybody's yelling at the guy up on the pedestal, and it's just like, yeah, everybody just wants to be tribal. It's inherent. It's in our nature. It's the most human thing that we have. Yet that simple fact alone, the fact that we all are part of this same family, allows for people that understand the real nature of it to manipulate everybody else. Thank you, Abraham, for the super sticker on YouTube. Thank you so much. So what I'm saying is that we have the power to stop this by simply starting at the very granular, very simple conversations. If we can change the individual conversations that we have, if we can interject into social situations where these things are allowed to propagate, then we will be able to stop this. This applies to the diapers. This applies to the racism narrative. This applies to everything that was ever said about Donnie. It applies to every news story in real time. It applies to everything. Thank you, Chooks, for the badge. Listen, this case, these people are out to manipulate us. It's point blank. It's obvious. It's not even a question anymore. They don't care. There was an NPR article today that came out that says, this is on NPR, taxpayer funded NPR. The title of this article, which is still up right now, Columbus police shoot and kill black, teenage girl. People like LeBron James tweet the identity of this officer to 50 million people. Any person that took the 2 minutes to watch the video, 2 minutes to watch the video, understands that that cop saved that other girl's life. Point blank. Any rational human being can see this. Anybody that takes 2 seconds out of their life to do this can see it. If NPR is going to take your taxpayer dollars to race bait you about something that is so obviously true, so objectively obvious that he saved a woman's life, point blank, split second decision. They want the knife to be handle deep in the other person's chest. And then you're supposed to shoot them with what? You're supposed to lasso them up with a rope? This is insane. We are not dealing with people that are using rational thought. We are dealing with people that are emotionally manipulated and do not understand the basic fundamentals of life, that don't understand the basic structure of how you can be manipulated using their emotions. They don't understand the most basic components of what is occurring. LeBron James is clueless. Absolutely clueless. And there are many thousands, countless amounts of people that are equally as clueless, equally as easily manipulated, and they know this. This is all about the agenda. And that article title from NPR should make it more than clear. We are not dealing with people that are rational. We are not dealing with people that care about anything other than propagating and pushing and advancing the narrative, intentional or unintentional. The only way that we get out of this mess, as I have come to understand, is hand to hand. In sales and in business, I call it hand-to-hand combat, one by one. One conversation, one person. Ask somebody if they took the time to understand the details of the case. Ask somebody if they took the time to look into the facts of the case. Stop somebody from pushing something that's so blatantly and obviously true. And if they can't do it without arguing with you, without getting emotional, without getting mad at you, without you losing them as a friend, here's a newsflash, guys. You don't need them as a friend. That's not your friend. That person does not vibrate at a frequency high enough to justify you wasting any more of your time hanging out with them. Do not hang out with people that are there out of convenience. Do not hang out with people that you're known from around the way, that you're known for whatever. If they're not helping you elevate, if they're not vibrating at your level, then you are lowering yourself to meet them. Remove them from the equation. If somebody is going to beef with you over something that is objectively true, you don't need them as a friend. That's not your friend. We overestimate what a friend even really is. What's a friend? So often a friend is an acquaintance. And so often we confuse someone that we hang out with a lot, these acquaintances, with people that are actually our friends. When push came to shove and your back was up against the wall, how many of them would really fight for you? How many of them would really be there for you? We over-index people because that's what we think. We think that they reciprocate the feelings that we might have. They think that they reciprocate the respect that we have for them back to us. When the reality is that anybody that's on your level, anybody that has the rational degree, the rational thought to be able to understand these types of very, very important things that deserve to be in the conversation. If not, we lose America, we lose our future, we lose our freedom, we lose our country, we lose the very rational thought that is necessary for us to continue as a human race successfully. If they don't have the capacity to understand at that level and conversate with you about it without getting emotional, without getting triggered, without getting mad at you, without saying XYZ about you or talking shit about you, you don't need them. They're not your friend. That's not your friend. If they're not on your level, they're pulling you down. You have to lower yourself to meet them, or they need to rise up to meet you. And if you're not there, then you gotta move on. You got to move to the next. For every door that closes, there's a window that opens. There's another door that opens. There's a trap door in the floor. There's a ladder to the ceiling. There is a way out. That space that's being filled with what would be otherwise an energy suck, a low vibration, unaware person can be filled with a higher vibration, higher powerful person that will lift you up, that you'll have to elevate up to get up to their level. That's going to cause you to do better. That's going to cause you to work harder. That's going to cause you to think differently. You don't need them. Remove them from your life. Cut them out. Move on. What's a friend? What's a friend? Think about it. Elevate. That's it. That's the game. It took me until I was over 30 years old to really understand this, and it really hasn't hit home for me until the last 12 months. You have to understand that you're going down to meet them, or they need to rise up to meet you. If somebody is driving at 99 miles an hour and you're driving at 100 miles an hour, you guys are going to be really close for a few hundred miles. But a few hundred miles down the road, you're going to be 4 miles ahead of them. And 1,000 miles down the road, you're going to be 10 miles ahead of them. That means you're not even seeing them anymore. That means it's going to be 10 minutes before they even catch up to you. You're talking 1 mile an hour difference of speed, and you're in just 100 miles, or in just 1,000 miles, you're 10 minutes ahead of them. So it's like, what are you talking about? It's like you gotta be running with people that run at the same speed as you. You gotta lift them up so that they get to your level, but do not go down to them. That's why all this stuff is happening. You can't save everybody. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody's going to understand. And quite frankly, weeding those people out to make space for people that operate at a higher vibration is absolutely necessary in order for you to reach peak performance, in order for you and the world and your social circle and your family and every single person in your ecosystem to operate and hit at the absolute highest level. This is a requirement. This is not an option. This is a prerequisite. This is a requirement. You must elevate to that level and surround yourself with people that operate at your level or above, or you will go down. It's hard, it's difficult, it's lonely at the top. It's going to be difficult like all good things are. It's going to be a challenge like all good things are, but the complacency, it's this, the excuses that we make for other people, the excuses that we make for why we don't want to do the uncomfortable thing, like find new people to hang out with. We all beat ourselves up internally. Well, that's not nice. Well, that's not kind. Well, I know this or I know that. You're losing. You're losing in real time. You're losing going forward. You're going to lose that fight later. It's the best thing that you could do for yourself. And we don't even take the time to understand it. We rationalize, we make excuses. Well, this, I don't know. Well, maybe I was mean. No. Operate at a high level, move up, get with people that help you elevate. What is that quote? It's like small people talk about things. What is this one? Let me get the quote for you. Everybody's heard this quote, I think. Small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, great minds discuss ideas. So what are we talking about? Are you around people that talk about people? Are you around people that talk about events? Or are you around people that talk about ideas? People that give you a nugget that helps you get up one, that you give nuggets to that helps you get up one. If you're not around with more of those people, you're stagnating. You're waffling in the middle. You're not going like this. And it doesn't have to be this, and it doesn't have to be this, and it could literally just be this. That's all it has to be. But it can't be this, and it can't be this, and it can't be anywhere down here, or you lose. These conversations are uncomfortable. These conversations are challenging. These conversations stir the pot. But this is the type of thing that makes things greater. This is the type of discomfort that changes the way that people move throughout the world. Your message, though may be hard to digest for that person at that very moment, will be ultimately beneficial to them whether you're in their life or not. Sometimes you just got to tell people what you got to tell people. And if they take it and it makes them bad, or it makes them feel wrong, or it makes them feel some type of way, but you know that that's what they need in order to grow, you know that that's what they need in order to elevate, you're doing them more of a service by making it uncomfortable, by doing something that may jeopardize your relationship temporarily until they understand. But I guarantee you, if you do the right thing, it will serve you back. They will come back to you later and they will think and understand that that was the right thing, that you had to say it. And all those other yes men and yes women that filled their mind with the same old bullshit that allowed them to stay complacent, that allowed them to stay at a low vibration, they're going to realize that all those people sucked and they weren't there all along. The only person that was actually there for them was you. The only person that actually said something that was of value was you. And just like that, as those people fall away, they realize that they should have been spending that time occupied with people like you, people that operate at a high tier, people that hit, people that hustle, people that try to get ahead, people that try to get better all the time. Because if you're not getting better, then you're getting worse. That's the harsh reality of all this. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people. So look, Change the conversations that you have with the people around you. Change one person's mind. Tell people what you believe that they need to know in order to grow, even if it's uncomfortable for the situation. Some people are going to react some types of ways, and some people are going to react other types of ways. But if you know that the message that you're delivering is ultimately beneficial to their progress in life, and really your progress in life, if they fall out of your space, that space will be occupied with something that's better, so long as that is your objective. We get so clingy. We get so clingy to this idea that there's so much scarcity. Well, if I lose this friend, then this. If I lose this, then this. There's scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. We forget about the abundance that the world has to offer. The people that you're not making space for, that you otherwise won't be able to find because you're preoccupied with people that are dragging you down. And look, I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, like I just know this through and through with every single relationship, with every single person that I encounter, with every single thing that I do. But I'm trying to get better at it every single day. And this is the lesson that I'm seeing. And I'm like, yo, I can't keep dragging to, it's just like on Facebook, quality, not quantity. I can't keep dragging down to something that's not going to operate at a high tier. It's comfortable. It's easy. I can get there easily. It's the comfortable thing. It's the normal thing. It's the thing that I'm used to. It's the thing that I expect to be there. But the true value is in the difficult decision and in the hard decision and in the seeking of more. If you had $50 million right now and you think that that's what being rich is, $50 million. Maybe you think it's $500 million. Maybe you think it's $5 billion. I don't know. But if you had that right now, $5 billion, $50 million, whatever it is, what do? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit on the beach in Saint-Tropez and eat bonbons and strawberries and just sit in the sun all day? Probably not. You're probably going to find a way to get more, do more, be more, live more richly, not in money, but in your life. What are you going to do? You're going to try to be healthier. You're going to try to do different things. You're going to try to help more people. If you have an unquenchable thirst for more, if you have an unquenchable thirst for greatness, which I believe is the essence of life, then why are you not doing that now? Why do you need $50 million to do that? Why do you need $5 billion? Why do you need $50 billion? Why do you need that to do that? So if you were to do that now, don't you think that it would be easier to attract that $5 billion, that $5 million, that $500,000, whatever it is? And it's not about the dollars. It's just about using that as a scoreboard or as a metric for if I had this, then I would act this way. Well, pretend that you had it. Imagine if you just filled in all of the rest of the blanks other than that. Imagine how easier it would be to get that thing. Imagine if you lived the life that would be so full and rich as if you already had that. If you think that $50 million is when you're rich, and if you had $50 million, you would do the following things. I would do yoga. I would exercise. I would meet new people. I would do new things. I would operate at a high frequency. I would meditate. I would do this. I would travel around the world. Okay. Well, why don't you try to do those things now? Well, I don't have enough money. Well, maybe it just looks a little different. Maybe you travel around the world on a bicycle. Maybe you take a ship instead of a plane. Maybe you take the train instead of a flight. Maybe you drive instead of fly. Maybe you walk. Maybe you ride your bicycle. Maybe you find other ways to do it. Maybe you work along the way. Now you're traveling the world. It just doesn't look like you thought it was going to look, but you're doing the thing that you thought you would do if you operated at the highest level of yourself. And as you do that, and as you live full of richness, all of those things become attracted to you like a magnet. Yet we wait for this distant time for us to do the thing that we're supposed to do because I don't have X, therefore I can't achieve Y. When the reality is that if you have 10 different tubes that you have to fill, and then if you have all of them filled, you'll get that thing that you believe that you need to get. Well, fill 9 of them. Fill them all as much as you can as you go along. And you'd be surprised how much the thing that you really want to get will materialize as a result of you making all of those other things operate at a high level until you get there. If you wait until an opportunity comes to start preparing, you will miss it. You will not seize it. Eliminate people from your life that operate at a low frequency. Make room for better ones. Constantly be finding what's not working, eliminate. Find what's working, add more of it. Analyzing. studying, introspective thought, paying attention to what you're thinking about, paying attention to your heart, to your intuition, paying attention to your progress, looking at how much money did I make? How much success did I have? Am I healthier this month than last month? Did I exercise more? Did I eat better? Did I have better experiences? Did I think about smarter things? Did I feel more depressed? Did I feel happier? What are the things, what are the metrics that I can look at to measure what's happening in my life day to day, week to week, month to month? And am I getting better? As long as I'm getting better, that's better. That's all you can ask for. Just get better. And eliminating these people, eliminating these energy sucks, eliminating this low vibration stuff is the key to it. And it starts with the conversations. It starts with interjecting in things that you know, that you took the time to understand, that you took the time to look into, so that you can do your part in pushing and propagating the truth, liberty, America, freedom, people that think, people that understand, people that have rational thought. And then you, like me and like everybody else in this chat and that will watch this and that will hear something that comes from this, you too, we all can change the world in our own little way. That's the only way it will get changed. It's not going to be one person. It's not going to be two people. It's not going to be the elite. It's not going to be the rich. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be the individual small interjections of the truth, facts, logic, reason, liberty, and faith and belief in America from each individual person, conversation to conversation, day to day, interaction to interaction, in your small social circles, local first, regional, state, country, world, everything. It starts from within. It starts here first. It starts here second. It starts here third. And that's how this happens. Think that way first, speak about it next, change the people you surround yourself with, figure out ways for your voice to get louder, for your ability to push this message to be more impactful. Do something that will let people want to pay more attention to you, be more informed, pay more attention, help people understand, carry them along the way. Do your service, do your duty to humanity, the world, America, yourself, your fellow man and woman, your children and your children's children's children, just like they did for us. Except the difference between them and us is they were jumping on grenades. They were going to war. They were fighting with muskets. They were getting murdered. They were doing all types of horrible things to save people from all these horrendous acts. Yet all we have to do is what? Pay attention, speak about it, be about it, act on it, execute at a small level, do something locally. Like this is a cushy world, for Christmas sake. It's like, this is all we got to do. This is it. And we're gonna worry about that. You could do it from your toilet. You could sit on your shitter and tell people, yo, that's not the truth. And you're gonna compare this to the very small grouping of people that fought in all these wars and died for this, for us to have the freedom to be able to do this. It's like, this is our challenge. This is our world to lose. This is our freedom. It's our shit now. It's like, I can't express this enough. It's like, this is our world to save. Who's going to do it? Pelosi is not going to do it. The people in their 80s are not going to do it. The people in their 70s are not going to do it. The people that are even in their 60s are probably not going to do it. They're moonlighting. They're riding off into the sunset. It's grandchildren. It's pay attention to what it's. I want to hit the golf course. I want to retire. They're not focused in there. Maybe they are. I'm not trying to generalize based on age, but I'm just trying to say, who's it going to be? It's not going to be anybody in their teens, or it's at least going to be a very small, minute amount of people that are in their teens because they're living their life. They're trying to pay attention. They just got clapped by all this bullshit, and they're like, fuck this. I'm going to go party. I'm going to try to have the best time that I can. People in their 20s are trying to figure out who they are, trying to understand and identify figure out their identity. They want to know what they are, what they're doing, and how they can live. They don't know, am I going to make it past 20? I want to have as best time as I can. Everything is new. It's people in their 30s and 40s that need to save this. And that's it. It's like, it's your duty. And if you're not in your 40s, I'm not trying to limit it to that, but I'm saying if you are in that age range, it's like, it's like, what are we doing? And again, it's not about the age. I don't want to be sitting here 20 years from now in some dystopian hellscape going, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, because I understood, but I was afraid of X. Because if every single person did that, we would not have any of this stuff. And people so callously forget that all these people that died in these wars, these people were 18, 19, 20 years old. These were children that died in all these wars to fight for our freedom. And if you made it after that, if you've lived in this world, as bad as it may seem day to day, it's not that bad. So it's like, but it certainly could get worse. So it's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? To me, this seems like the most simple. Thank you, Kaylee, for the Venmo. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It seems like this, to me, is a reasonable objective, a reasonable start. So I don't want anybody to ask me or anybody else, what can I do? That is a bullshit excuse. That is a self-imposed obstacle that's preventing you from taking action. Well, I don't know. So someone has to tell me. Someone has to serve it up on a plate. If you got to even ask that question, then you're not looking deep enough. You're not looking to the answer. You're just being lazy. Well, what do I do? I'm afraid of X. That's an excuse. Tony Horton, excuses are self-imposed obstacles that prevent you from having a better life. Asking what can I do is akin to that. I don't know. You got to tell me. I need Bobby Sauce to tell me. I need the mysterious man on the phone to tell me. No, you don't. You don't need anybody to tell you anything ever. The solution to all your problems are within. The solution to every single problem that you could ever possibly have can be solved within yourself. You're just making excuses and associating your inability to solve your own problems to the I don't have, or the but if I had X, then I would have it. But if I had this, then I could solve it. No, the answer is that it's all self-contained. You're just dismissing your own power because you don't want to deal with it right now. I could be healthier, but I don't know how. I could go to the gym, but I don't even know what I would do there. Dog, just go. Figure it out. It's like we constantly, like when I was first starting in business, I'd be like, but I don't have any money, but I need money. I would complain and bitch and moan to my parents about, but I need somebody to borrow, I need to borrow 10,000. If I only had 10,000, that is horseshit. You know what the reality is when I actually did get access to the money after a very long time of doing the wrong thing and being scrappy with it, I ripped right through it. It's the up against the wall. It's the challenge. It's the low amount of resources that forces you to do the right thing. It's for you to not, it's when you don't have the resources that you find the solution. It's when you don't know the problem that you find it. You find the right way. If every single problem, if every single solution, every problem was served up to you on a platter, here's how you do it, we'd all be rich. We'd all be killing it. You have to understand that the struggle is what makes the solution right. You make every mistake first, then you solve it. No one just walks straight in and hits a grand slam. And the people that do, when you look out, you don't know what they went through to hit that grand slam. It may seem like it was an overnight, but it wasn't. You don't know what they had to go through to get there. It's like people look at musicians. They're like musicians, like, oh, they had a one hit and they were a one-hit wonder. You know how much pain? You know how much pain musicians often go through before they have that one, before they have the emotion, the raw emotion, where they can come in and hit a song, grand slam it out of the park, where they can twang people's heartstrings like that. They ultimately and typically and oftentimes go through great and tremendous amounts of hardship. And that's why many of them die young. So it's like, yo, you don't even know. You don't even know what it is. We have this preconceived notion of how the world works, but what we don't understand is that the more struggles you have, the more success you have. The harder it is, the better it will be. The harder it is now, the bigger of a mountain you're trying to climb. If you were just walking up a small incline, when you reach the top, you wouldn't have much of a view. It's the people that grind it up to the top, that shoot for the highest peak. Those are the people that get the greatest view, that get the greatest award, that can look down and be like, look at all this shit that I did. I just crushed this out. Now what am I capable of? Here's the answer. Everything, all things, now until forever. But we just dismiss our power to some external source where we can't do it. We can't solve it. We're not in control of operating our own operation because we don't know, or I need a mentor, or I need a book, or I need money, or I need someone that's going to show me how to do some shit that I could figure out if I just had the frame of mind and the discipline to look within and solve my own shit. But we're just like, oh, goo, what can I do? I'm afraid. No, dude, it's like the solution to all your problems is within. Are you winning the battle with yourself? Are you defeating yourself? Are you defeating your inner bitch voice, like Andy Frisella says? Are you defeating your inner bitch voice? Are you winning conversations with yourself. Are you winning those conversations? Because the more that you win them, the more that you'll win on the external, the more that you'll win in life. And we're all out here just dismissing, and giving our power away to some external source that is not us. And the more that we do that, the longer it's going to be before we realize that we have the power, we have the solution. It's been here all along. Go read The Alchemist. Go read The Alchemist. It's like, be great. Be great. I don't know. What you think you are is what you are. If you think you're average, you're going to be average. You can't hit a target if you don't have a target. There's nothing to hit. You don't know what your accuracy is. You don't know what you're capable of. But we are so dismissive of our own power. We are so dismissive. We constantly beat ourselves up for things that we shouldn't beat ourselves up against. We lose the battle with ourselves for decades. And the reality is that here's the answer. When you are so pushed and it's so hard and it's the worst and you're ground into the dirt and everything is trash and you're at the absolute worst moment ever and there is no escape and you think that the world is crushing down on you, is when you flip and you realize that I'm either going to die or I'm going to do the greatest things that I could ever do. And it's a decision. As Will Smith said, you just decide. So are you going to wait until you're face down in the dirt, until somebody's stomping on your face, till you got dirt kicked on you? Or are you going to start doing that and making that decision now, before you're on the ground, while you're at least on your feet? It's like, this decision is right in our hands, and we are so dismissive of our own power. We are so lazy. We are all so lazy and fearful. And we think in terms of scarcity and not abundance about everything. Everything. And look, I do it too. I'm trying to get better. As I speak to you, I'm also speaking to myself. I'm looking for a point of reference where it's like, all right, I get it now. What's better? How do I make the next live stream better? How do I make the next week better? How do I make the next interaction better? How do I deal with the next piece of adversity? Am I going to be down shorter? If I'm going to go down, we're all going to go down, but do I get back up faster? How quickly do I get back up? Did I get up faster this time than I did the previous time? And then when I get kicked in the dirt again, which will happen, will I get up faster that time? It's like 1%, one day at a time, one little thing. Mindset first. That's where the solution is. That's the game. You have the answer. Stop dismissing your own power away. All of the greatest people ever in the entire world that you look up to are no more capable at doing tremendously great, world-changing, earth-shattering things than you are. There is so many countless examples of people that came from nothing, were in the dirt, had no money, no connection, no people, no nothing, that built huge businesses, huge social impact, lived extremely rich lives, saved other people, clothed the hungry, or clothed the poor, fed the hungry, changed the way that the world works, changed the way that the world thinks forever. Imagine if Tony Robbins didn't believe that he had it. Imagine if Tony Robbins didn't believe he was great. Imagine if George Washington didn't think they could do it. Imagine if the settlers didn't believe they could beat the British. Imagine if they didn't believe that that was possible or capable. These are just men. These are just women. These are just people. Everybody poops. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, these people are no different than us. And when you meet people that are celebrity, or you meet people that are bigger or greater or better than you, or people that you look up to, when you see them, you're like, this guy farts, this guy shaves in the morning, this guy needs to wash his hands and eat lunch, and they're just the same as us. They're just the same. It's no different. They just take the time, the free time, to win the battle with themselves and execute on a high level that's objectively visible to everyone that's around them. And we gravitate towards them because we understand that that's the embodiment of all the things that we aren't right now. And when you're hitting and when you're grinding, those people that hit at that high level see that within you. And then they see you as an equal and not a less than. And then when you talk to them, you're on their level. You have, remember, are you down or are you even or are they up? That you rise to meet them. They can see that, they can feel that. That's why like you look at any celebrity and they're like, these people are, it's like, oh my God. This is just a person. So it's like, come on. There are so many people that have capacity for greatness that will leave it on the table, that will not leave all their energy, will not put it on the field. My soccer coaches, football coaches, they used to say, leave it all on the field. When that buzzer runs out, you better be exhausted. You better want to come off the field and pass out. Leave it all on the field. It's like, what are we doing? We don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know how long we're going to live. We don't know how long we're going to live. Because there is one certain truth, and that is that everyone will die. What are you going to do with this? It's like, and I know that the answer is not easy. And like for me, when I was building websites, I thought about this often. I'm like, is this the greatest thing that I could ever do? What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? I don't know. And I used to smoke on a jib and I would think about it and I would circle and cycle through my head forever. I don't know. Well, how am I going to figure this out? How am I going to figure it out? Always trying to figure it out. And for years and years and years, I tried to think my way through the problem. I tried to think myself into the future. And it wasn't until I realized one very important thing that everything started to change. It's like, instead of thinking, I should do more doing. I should do more executing. If I don't know what it's going to be, I better start polishing all the other things so that when that opportunity presents itself, I don't have to scramble through the rest. If you were operating at your highest level, would your car be clean? Would your bed be made? Would your clothes be ironed? Would your closet be clean? Would your shoes be white? Would your shoes be clean? Would your friends think that you're a good person? Would your computer be running quickly? Would you have cash in the bank? Would your wallet be full of bills that are all crumpled up, or would they be neatly? It's like, what would I have if I was operating at that high level? Start at those little things and solve that. Make your bed, clean your car, organize your closet, do the thing that if I were fully peak greatness, that all those things would be that way, because you're not going to get there if all that stuff is shit. You see what I'm saying? It's like we try to solve the big problem and we ignore all the small problems. If we address the small problems, it becomes much easier to attack, seize, and execute on the big problem when it presents itself. We are constantly thinking that if we can't do it, then we can't do anything or shouldn't do everything. We have to think our way through our greatest problem, and we ignore all of the other small things. We ignore all the small things. Do the little things right. Okay? Do the little things right. And the opportunities present themselves. So people will be like, it's like if you were to ask me 8 months ago, what's going to be the greatest version of what's going to be the thing that's going to be so great? How do you get 40,000 followers? I couldn't have told you how to get 44,000 followers on Instagram. I had no idea how to do that. I thought I knew how to do that. Truth is, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know. But what I did know is that I can control what I can control. I can solve the small problems. And if I can get more small problems solved, then the bigger problems will be easier to solve with the lessons, struggles, and difficulty that I had with the small problems. If I can get sharp at solving the small problems quickly, then I can solve the big problems better than I could if I didn't figure out how to do that. We learn from each of those small things. I swear to God, my life changed when I started making my bed every day. And you better believe that if you walk into my bedroom right now, my bed is made. Because that's the type of shit, that's the type of discipline that this type of world and this type of lifestyle says. It's like, and I remember just thinking to myself, if I had $1 billion, what would I have? My bed would certainly be made. So let me solve that. I'll just start making my bed. Solve the things you can solve. Solve and get expert at the small things. It's the small, granular details, the basic fundamentals of life that make the bigger things so much easier to conquer. And we overlook them. And we look at this big mountain of problems and we don't know where to start, so we do nothing. We try to think our way to the top instead of execute our way to the top. So, with that being said, that is my message, is like, look, the only example that I have is my own. The only story that I've got is my own. All I can do is tell the lessons that I've learned up until this point. That's the best that I can do. And I can tell you this. On August 20th, 2020, and many people have heard this story, I had 1,000 followers that were mostly friends and people that I encountered along the way. I made hundreds, probably 200 to 350 short, small, funny videos that barely anybody ever watched. I didn't know what would become of this account or if it would ever be somewhere. I just knew that I was going to keep showing up and that I was having fun doing it. I knew that I had a greater purpose in life, but I didn't know how to get there. I knew that I had more magic inside, but I didn't know how to display it. I didn't know how to get to the next level. And so instead of worrying about how I didn't know how to get there, I just tried to figure out how to get really good at the small things. How do I live a better life? Well, I need to listen to audiobooks. I need to go to the gym more often. I need to have my walls in my house be painted a color that if I was to go and sell the house, it would sell for top dollar. I need to have nice blinds. I need to have a nice car. My car has to be clean. My room has to be clean. I need to have clothing that makes me feel the right way. I need to have people around me that make me feel the right way. I have to solve all the little things. I need to learn how to cook. I need to learn how to exercise. I need to learn how to be a person that's a student of the truth. I need to read more about the economy, understand more about money, understand more about politics. I need to understand the little things. And along that journey, as I did many, many years of finding and isolating individual nuggets, yep, get good at this. Yep, get good at this. Yep, get good at this. When the opportunity presented itself and the universe and the marketplace said, here you go. Here's your opportunity. On August 20th, 2020, the opportunity presented itself that I had been preparing for without even understanding what it would be for 15 more years, for my entire life. And I was like, and if you just look back, it's like, what are the skills that I polished? The research, the understanding, the knowledge, the development. If that first video popped off and I didn't understand the economy and I didn't understand this message that I'm giving to you now, the way to think, the mindset, the fact that it went from zero to something overnight is the same way that it often goes for most people. It's like, then you execute, then you ride it, then you propel through the momentum, then you do great things. And great things gravitate to you at such an expeditious rate that if you start preparing, then it's already too late. So handle the small things. I'm like, I need to figure out how to run a business, how to generate income, how to make it so that I have passive income, so that in the event that an opportunity presents itself, I can divert my attention towards the greatest opportunity. I don't have to go show up at the office. I don't have to go show up at the restaurant. I don't have to go show up at some place 9 to 5. I need to come up with an income stream to fortify my position so that when my greatest duty appears and presents itself and the opportunity is there, I can seize it. I didn't know when it would come. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew the prerequisites for what I would need to have when that opportunity came. I would need to be sharp of mind, emotionally sharp, ability to deliver. I would need to understand the internet, how to market myself, how to brand myself, how to monetize. I would need to understand cash flow. I would need to understand the economy. I would need to understand government. I would need to understand people. I would need to know how to react to things in real time. I would need to know how to give value, produce value. The sum of all the great things that I did to lead up to the highest version of myself all got actuated once the opportunity presented itself. That's the only reason why I have something to say to you that's of any value, because I spent 13 years, 15 years, whatever, gathering it up. And as I'm delivering this message, you better believe that today I'm trying to think about what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, how I'm going to execute next time, how I'm going to execute forever, because I don't want to lose this, right? Because you guys would be able to feel it for a second. You'd be able to feel it. You would be able to feel it inherently if you knew that I was bullshitting you, that I had some ulterior motive, that I was lying, or that I didn't truly and fully all in heart, head to toe believe in this shit, that it was everything to me. You would be able to know. You could sense it. It would be palpable. And the exact same reason why I can't bullshit you is the exact reason why it succeeds. Because you know it. You can feel it. You're getting true objective value that's resonating with you, that's making you think, yes, I knew that already. Because this is the thing. You already know what I'm telling you. It's just being validated because you're hearing it out loud. You wouldn't be here to receive this content in the first place if you did not have the capacity to already understand it inherently already. You're just hearing something that you recognize to already be true. I'm not informing you. I'm just reminding you. That's called instinct. That's called gut feeling. When you just know, that's you recognizing something that you already know to be true. That's why you gravitate to this content right now. That's why you gravitate to everything that you look at, because you're like, yes, is this making me better or am I getting worse? Is this making me happier? Is this making me think differently? Is this making me change how I behave tomorrow? Make your bed. Watch your life change. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and if I could impart this wisdom and I could affect, even if there was 5 people on this stream, imagine the long-term macro impact of 5 people's life being changed in the very simple thing where they just watch the video about making your bed every day. That could ripple through the fabric of society until the end of time. That's legacy shit. That's game-changing shit. That's world-changing shit. And we oftentimes forget that whether there's a 50 on this little screen right here or a 20 or a 1, we underestimate and we under-index the power that we have, the power that our words have, the power that our passion has, and the power of one individual voice and their ability to influence one person to do one thing. We don't even understand how important and powerful that is. People have children. They're going to have children in the future. If they can instill those values into them, you're talking generational value created by a single thought that originated in my head first. So I took the time to think it. Then I went to deliver it. Then you took the time to think it. Then you passed it through. Then that could go to their kids. That could literally ripple through the fabric of humanity until the end of time. And where did it originate? Here in my head or yours. That's what I'm trying to say, is like all the greatest things that have ever existed in the history of time begin as a thought first. Everything. Light bulb, automobile, horse and carriage, printing press, internet, cell phone, mobile device. Every single thing ever was a thought first. If we understood the importance and power of our thoughts, we would change the way we think. If we understood the power and importance of our thoughts, we would change the way we think. All right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, stop wasting your thought. You don't know when you're not going to have the ability to have anymore. So it's like, yo, like, are we getting this or are we getting this? We about to do this shit or what are we doing? Are you floating through life or are you changing the game for yourself, for the people around you, for your family, for the people in your social circle? What's going to happen when you die? How are they going to remember what you did? What did you give? What did you put back out? Because if it's nothing, you better get to work, right? It's like, come on. This is the solution to all of our problems. It's This is it. I've been thinking about this so hard. I've been spending so much time thinking about this. And I'm like, that is the answer. The answer is individuals need to control their mindset. And once they do so and solve the inner like a moss, it will benefit the people around them and it will spread like wildfire. You have the capacity for tremendous greatness. If only you could take the time to cultivate it. Not for a week, not for a month, not for a week, or not for 2 weeks, not for a year, forever. Could you cultivate it in perpetuity until you die? I think the answer is yes. And I think that you are instrumental to America being saved. You are instrumental to humanity being saved. You are instrumental to the world being saved. And without you, who knows what will happen? So it's like, yo, are we about to get this or not? So that's my message for tonight. I just wanted to deliver that. That's what's on my mind. You can rely on me doing exactly that every day. That's why you're here. That's why you listen. That's why you pay attention. That's why you do everything. That's why I'm thankful for you. That's why I'm thankful for your time. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching it tomorrow, all I'm trying to say is like, we under-index our power. We don't understand how capable we are. If we could only challenge ourselves more, our life will be filled with eternal wins. All of the greatest things that you ever thought you could do, you will do. Control the inner, win the battle with yourself, and we're going to win. So I haven't been paying attention to the comments because I've just been going off the rip. So I'm going to take a look at the comments. I appreciate you guys. I just didn't want to get distracted. I see some people have been jamming in the comments and stuff. So I'll just take a couple looks at the comments. Thank you to Nicola on YouTube for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much to Kaylee and Tiffany for the Venmos. Thank you so much. Big thanks to everybody that's in the YouTube or in the Instagram badges. Tiffany CKP, Jen Lisa 80, Panda House of Rock, Lady Afton, Cherie Dot, Sean 87 Callahan, Jen Lee AZ, Zippity Zimp, Ryan Big Ray Fozzie, Julie Lynn, Alkite 7, Chichi 8, Chooks Official, Arjan 1602, and Jess Strauss 21. You guys, I know how much I see those exact same names over and over and over again. I want to let you guys know how much I appreciate you and the fact that you guys continue to buy those badges and support it. Thank you guys so much for that. It means a lot. It really helps me stay independent. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Yes, Tiffany, I will be posting this. I'll post it on my Facebook, YouTube, and it will stay on Instagram as well. I'll make sure that this stays on for now until forever. Benjamin says, thank you for the cream colored donut shirt. You're welcome. You're welcome, Tiffany. Thank you. So guys, it's like, Frank says, I'd love to donate, but I have no digital accounts, not even a credit card. That's okay, Frank. No worries. Just share the content. That's all. It's all good. No worries. So I just can't express the urgency of this change of behavior and mindset. And look, and like I said, I'm not perfect. Like I have my own foibles, and like I struggle with things as well. But it's like I solve the things I can solve. I work on the things I'm not great at. I try to get better at them. I know that the next time around, it'll be better. I'm going to just do the best that I can. And I'm going to keep delivering the best message that I can, working really hard to make sure that I communicate things that really matter. And I'm just going to keep showing up. And it's like, you can feel it. I can feel it. It's right. That's why it's working. I'm going to keep doing it. So it's like, I don't know what else I can do. So I just hope that the message does something for someone, because this is one of many things that I think that I'm intended to be here to do, is deliver this message to you right now, and all of the other messages up until this point that have happened beforehand. Thank you, Amy, for the message on Facebook. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Team Beanbag fans. Thank you guys on Facebook for the comments. Appreciate it. Thank you, B. Went. You are a leader, period. Look, I realized a long time ago that it's like you either gotta decide, like, am I gonna lead or follow? And I didn't like the idea of following, so it's like I gotta challenge myself to lead. So thank you so much. It means a lot to hear that. It's a great compliment to me to say that. So thank you so much. Miss Patriot Muscle. The video will be on my Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, so you won't miss it. For everybody that does not already, please make sure that you go follow me on Facebook or on YouTube and Facebook. For people that are on Facebook, please make sure that you follow me on YouTube. I got to get my numbers up on YouTube. That's the lowest that I have of the 3 accounts. So please go and follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/BobbySausalito. I really appreciate that. Got to get as many people over there as we can. Paging Emily Roth. I don't know what bag we're talking about, but it's tickled all right. Hell yeah. Put this comment thread on the main screen here. Thank you, Sean87. Dude, this is the most definitely you're calling. We appreciate the hell out of you. Yo, thank you so much. Look, like I said, it's like the thing that's so beautiful about it is that I knew there was something, but I didn't know what. So I just tried to figure out how to be good at the other things and solve them. And that's why. Keith says, "Where did your lips go?" I don't know. I think I left them at my friend's house. Big Mike. Oh yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate that. Yo, what's with that energy though? Yo, just doing it. So I'm gonna listen to him. Cool. So does anybody have any questions? If not, then I'll jump for now. I'm going to Texas tomorrow. Got a big day ahead. Gonna go out there for FitCon. Excited for that. And it's gonna be a jammer. Thank you, Chichi. Appreciate that. Nick George, 44. The energy comes from passage for sure. I'm just drinking water. Big Blue. All right. Look, so I have some more stuff that I got to do before I go to bed. It's 1 o'clock. I got to knock some stuff out in preparation for the trip tomorrow. So look, if you liked what you heard here, please share it. Share the Instagram video, post it to your story, DM it to a friend if you got some value from it. If you're on Facebook, share it to your page. If you're on YouTube, post it in a couple places, send it an email, share the message around. And if not, then thank you all so much to the people that donated in the badges. Thanks to everybody that donated. Thank you for the badges on YouTube as well as on Instagram. Thank you guys for the Venmos. And most importantly, thanks for being here and finding some value here. And thank you for supporting the page, supporting me, buying merch. Thanks for the people that bought merch in the store. And thanks everybody for just your precious time and attention. Please share it if you got some value. And let's solve this. I mean, this is, to me, this unsolvable problem is solvable. There's no mountain too high. There's no challenge too great. We can do it. We can make this happen. We don't need to believe that it's over. We don't need to believe that they're going to destroy us and dominate us forever. There's more good than bad. There's more light than darkness. And ultimately, the people that save it are going to be us collectively, individually, day to day, thought to thought, and understanding, and one conversation at a time. If we could only simply understand our power, harness it, execute on it every day, get better as much as we can, find the things in our life that provide value, eliminate the things that don't, and continue advancing towards nothing but perpetual greatness, we can save the world, we can save ourselves, and we will be full of win after win after win. And as long as we're continuing to challenge ourselves, as long as we're continuing to struggle and have difficulties, then more great things will come as a result. So don't get comfortable. Don't get complacent. Let's solve these problems. We can change the world by simply changing ourselves. Look inside yourself for the answer. Surround yourself with people that elevate you. Eliminate the things from your life that are a suck, and focus on the things that bring you up. Consume more content that helps you elevate. Be around more people that help you elevate. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game, and let's get it. All right. That is the message. Thank you guys so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Facebook and YouTube. This might be my shortest live stream ever, but that's okay. I think that the message was valuable. Thank you guys so much on YouTube and Facebook. I'll see you guys later.